Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Marley and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Marley's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any correction that's needed. And the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Marley has been fitted with her very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that during your follow-up training session. Now she is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Marley heel. Now at this point she has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when you're walking. And each time that you stop your feet, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So when you're walking, she should be walking next to you like a lady, her shoulders even with your left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind. If you change pace, she should do the same. If you're going out for a leisurely walk, she should walk leisurely. If you're a power walker, she should do the same thing. And when you stop each time without being told, she should sit. So when you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she's sitting nicely at your left and waiting for her next command. And she is a darling, but she can be a real hard head. She's one of these really, really cute dogs that you think, oh, she couldn't possibly do anything wrong. And yet if she gets it into her head to do it, she's going to do it. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a firm one-word command to stay. Your long sit-stay when you're practicing at home should be from 45 seconds, working all the way up to 3 minutes. And when Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way around her counterclockwise, ending up back at heel, and they take off heeling again. So heel is a position as well as an exercise. Brandy talks to her to keep her motivated. Nice automatic sit and stay. She walks out to the end of her leash and she turns to face her. And this time, instead of returning back to her, we're going to demonstrate the come on command.
Marley, come.
And Marley should come right in front, and she's been taught to sit. Now if she doesn't sit, you see that little tug and release that we talked about earlier. She goes back to heel and back sitting. And you can praise her at the same time that you're making her behave. Brandy leaves her in a sit-stay. She turns to face her and backs up. She's going to use her name and a happy voice, and she's going to call her in. Marley, come, good girl, good, come, and then sits. And then back to heel position. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are our series of down commands, and there are 2. The first one is a down from a heel position, so always have your dog seated. Before you attempt to put her in a down, use your left open palm straight down toward the ground on the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay when you're practicing at home, and you can practice right in your living room, is 5 minutes. So practice those down stays. Those are good self-control exercises. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way around her just as she did on the sit-stay, quickly getting back to her shoulders, and when she gets back to her shoulders, she stops. And she heels her out of that, and we're going to demonstrate that command again. So when you stop, she sits. Left open palm straight down toward the ground, down and stay. And I know some of these exercises Marley probably had some kind of an idea of. Her consistency was very off. And this time Brandy will call her out of this.
Good job.
She comes in and sits and goes back to heel and back sitting. On Marley time. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is Marley's down from a distance. So we have her sit and stay. Brandy turns to face her. You're going to use your right hand this time to give the command. Nah, she's going to give her a kiss.
Marley, no.
Now Brandy's going to heel her out of that because now she's just being silly. And this is one of the things that you have to be prepared for with Marley at home. You have to toughen up on your voice. Don't let her get away. I mean, she's savvy enough that she was going to give Brandy kisses and get out of doing her down. Brandy returns back to her and then praises a release, so she gives her some praise. Now, we've demonstrated for you all of Marley's formal on-leash obedience commands. She has done a really good job here at school. We've enjoyed having her, and we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.